Good evening. I'm going to be the Prime Minister constructed for today's topic. The United States federal government should pass the freedom dividend, issuing a monthly check for $1,000 for every American over the age of 18, regardless of income or employment status. For those who are unfamiliar with the freedom dividend, it is former Democrat candidate Andrew Yang's proposal of a universal basic income. The first contention is the harms, with my first argument being that without the freedom dividend, or the universal basic income, Americans suffer from division in several different ways. The first division being clear through education. There are many people across the country who do not have the resources to be able to afford a college education, despite how much they would like to pursue one. According to a survey from CNBC, over 55% of former college students reported that their financial situations have been negatively impacted while trying to afford tuition, with 38% of them dropping out due to finance struggles. This is significant since it impacts individuals as well as our economy as a whole. Since college graduates earn a higher average than a person without a college degree, the college graduate has more freedom to spend, which is a part of what keeps our economy booming. Leading into the second contention, there are currently many people who are not able to afford rent, much less a home, forcing them into homelessness and risky situations. There's a housing crisis right now where many are experiencing housing insecurity. For example, in California, the minimum wage is $15.50, while living wage is much higher at $21.24. Since people don't have enough income to afford a living, they are forced to move into more dangerous areas or even become homeless. Both of which are bad since people risk their lives, and homelessness negatively impacts the community since it will unfortunately devalue the areas nearby. As mentioned earlier, people who cannot afford housing are forced to move into more dangerous areas and low-quality homes, which can lead to health problems. This puts people's lives at risk, specifically children, as they are more susceptible to lead poisoning from cheaply made homes. It's unfair to these innocent children as they are being slowly poisoned for reasons they have no say in. It goes beyond homeowners. Construction workers are also deeply affected by this. If people cannot afford homes, the demand goes down, which ultimately cuts workers' hours, taking away from them and their family. For my third harms, as a result of not having the freedom dividend, people have to take up multiple jobs to support themselves and their families. This causes a lot of problems for the individual, the home, and the community. Since people are having to pick up more work, their health declines. The main cause of health decline is due to stress. According to statistics from stress.org, 83% of U.S. workers suffer from work-related stress. This is really alarming to see. Unfortunately, people who need to take up multiple jobs don't just suffer from stress. They also suffer from things such as high blood pressure, obesity due to stress, and anxiety attacks. Workers with multiple jobs are also away from home for long hours, which then affects the family as children are left to grow up by themselves. It's bad as families where parents aren't present lead to a higher crime rate. American First policy states that children without present parents are 20 times more likely to be incarcerated than children raised with present parents. 2 to 3 times wouldn't be as surprising, but when it's 20 times more, it becomes outrageous that we haven't done anything regarding that. Now for the inherency. The reason that this plan has not passed is that there is a split in political parties, as well as lobbying from Congress, since higher class people would not want lower classes to prosper. The plan is that it will pass and that the freedom dividend will become part of our everyday lives. Funding would come through a value-added tax and other normal means, and the enforcement would be done by the Treasury Department and the Bureau of the Fiscal Service. The solvency is that we would solve the division among people since they would have more available income, which in turn leads to more opportunities. People would be able to afford rent, reducing the risk of homelessness, and people wouldn't need to overwork themselves, keeping them healthier and happier, and reducing the crime rate. Thank you.